So we're going to be talking about one solution, which would be one solution, no solution, or infinitely many solutions. So we can either solve these by substitution or elimination. Now, when you're looking at these, you want to probably pick the best option. Now, some people really like elimination, some people really like substitution, but sometimes the best option is always the way that it's set up. So in this case, we have two standard form equations. So the best option for me is going to be choosing elimination. So I want to eliminate one of the variables. So how I'm going to do that is I notice that we have 6 and 2. And if I multiply the top by a negative 3, I'm going to get a negative 6x minus 15y equals a negative 42. Because 14 times a negative 3 is negative 42. Then I have 6x plus 7y is equal to 10. So from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add down. So I have a negative 15, because these are going to cancel. So negative 15 plus 7 is going to give me a negative 8y is equal to a negative 42 plus 10 is a negative 32. I'm going to divide by negative 8 on both sides. So I have y is equal to 4. So from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to then take one of the equations and put 4 back in for y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this top equation. So I have 2x plus 5 times 4 is equal to 14. 2x plus 20 is equal to 14. I'm going to subtract 20 on both sides. So I get 2x is equal to a negative 6. Divide by 2 on both sides, so I get x is equal to negative 3. So if I actually do get answers for my x and y, I'm going to have one solution. So my solution would be negative 3, 4. So this would be considered one solution. Now, in this next case, you could see that they're both standard form equations. You can either choose to solve for elimination or substitution. In this case, I think elimination is going to be the best choice just because of the way it's already set up. And you can see that the x's cancel, or the y's cancel in this case. So if you think about it, if I add down and my x's cancel because one's positive, one's negative, if I continue to add down, well, if I have a negative 2y and I add 2y to it, it's going to be 0 is equal to 7 plus 7 is 14. So can 0 be equal to 14? No. So what that answer would be no solution. You could have also solved by substitution, so I'll show you that was elimination, but if I solve by substitution, I would have x minus 2y is equal to 7, and I would have negative x plus 2y equals 7. So what would happen is I would want to get x by itself to do an x equals. So I have x equals 2y plus 7. So what I would do is I'd put this in for x. So I'm going to draw. This is almost like it's one of those tables. So if I had negative times 2y plus 7 plus 2y equals 7, well, that'd be negative 2y minus 7 plus 2y equals 7. Well, negative 2y, if I combine like terms, that becomes 0. So I'm left with negative 7 equals 7, which is not true. So that would be no solution. So I showed this is showing how I will do this. I will make this more of a t-chart. Is that this is where I got my t-chart from. So you could have solved it either way, but in this case, I think the easier way was elimination. Now our last one, if you notice that this is already in a y equals, so I would use substitution. So what I would do is I would take the y and put it in for the 2, or next to this, so I'd put it in for this y. So I have a negative 16x plus 2 times 8x minus 1 equals a negative 2. Well, negative 16x plus 16x minus 2, because 2 times negative 1 is 2, negative 2, is equal to negative 2. Well, negative 16 plus 16, that cancels to just be 0. So I'd be left with negative 2 is equal to negative 2. Well, negative 2 is equal to negative 2, so that would be infinitely many solutions. Now, for those of you that are really into elimination that would rather have solved it that way, what you could have done is made this into a standard form equation. So it would have been negative 16x plus 2y is equal to negative 2. I would subtract the 8x over so I can make it in a standard form equation. So it would be negative 8x plus y equals a negative 1. Now what I would have to do is try to get them to be the same number. So I would multiply the bottom by a negative 2. So I would have, I'm going to bring down the original equation. So negative 16x plus 2y equals negative 2. So I'm going to draw a little. And I would have had 16x minus 2y equals a positive 2. Well, if I add down, this cancels, and this cancels. So that would be 0 is equal to 0, which in that case is true, so it would still be infinitely many. So you could solve it either way, just in this case, I think substitution might have been the faster way in that case.